Hey guys, so today I have the Colors to Carol holiday / winter collection for this year. There are 9 polishes in this collection, and I will link Colors to Carol down below so you guys can check all of these polishes out, and if you want to see the swatches, then keep watching. So the first polish is called Mittens, and this is a slightly holographic light gray with a pink shimmer and some iridescent flakies in there as well. So here is one coat of Mittens. Now I have swatched all of these for Instagram already, and I did have to put some thinner in this one. It was considerably thick for me, and I had a hard time getting the coats even. They came out a little bit lumpy, even with top coat. But I have seen reviews on this polish from other people, and they didn't mention that at all. So it might have just been my bottle. They did sit in my mailbox like all day before I could get them, and it was freezing that day, so that might have had something to do with it also. Now that this has sat for a few days with the thinner in it though, this does apply a lot better. So that is one coat of Mittens. I am going to let that dry because you can see it's a little bit streaky on the first coat, and I'm going to come back for a second coat. Okay, so here is 2 coats of Mittens. Yeah, a little bit of thinner totally solved my problem, so I think, I don't know. I don't know much about the chemicals or whatever, but I think it might have been just from sitting in my mailbox in the cold. I'm definitely not having the issue that I was before. As you can see, it's completely opaque in 2 coats. Formula is a bit thick still. It's a little bit difficult to work with. It's not terrible, and this is the only one in the collection that's like this. So there is 2 coats of Mittens. The next polish is Stockings, and this is a white curly base with a mix of the traditional red and green, and then lime green and pink glitters as well. There are bows and hearts and diamonds in here, and then a bunch of hexes and squares and whatnot. So here is one coat of Stockings. So this is in a curly base, so it's not going to be outrageously opaque at first. And the best thing to do when you have polishes like this that are glitters with the curly bases, regardless of the color, you kind of want to focus on coverage on the first coat and then worry about dispersing the glitter on the second coat. You will get some glitter with the first coat, which is good because you want it to kind of peek through the base, but I wouldn't worry too much about spreading it out. This one is nice. The formula is really good. It's not too thick. It's not like, you know, I'm making a mess with this glitter flying everywhere. It's actually really nice. So that is one coat of Stockings. I will let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of Stockings. You can see that covers pretty well on 2 coats. It might need a third one. I'll decide when I get to the end. But if you want to avoid having to do that, these look really good layered over white as well. It just makes them a little bit more of a brighter white. If you stick with the curly, it's going to be more muted, but if you layer one coat over white, it'll save on your actual curly polish and it'll make it a lot brighter. So that is 2 coats of Stockings. It looks pretty good on camera, but it actually has some streakiness in person. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry and come back for a third coat. Okay, so here is 3 coats of Stockings. So that covers completely. That gets rid of any of the streakiness or the bald spots. And I will say it might be the polish, and it might also be the weird angle that I'm applying it at that's causing the streakiness. Because I don't remember having to do 3 coats of this when I actually did my swatches that I took the pictures of. So there is 3 coats of Stockings. It does look a little bit thick on my nails right now, but the nice thing about these kind of crelly glitter mixes is that the base dries down to a lot thinner than it looks when it's wet. It'll actually dry down and the glitter will stick up a little bit. Most of them dry like that, so you will want to put some top coat on it, but don't be worried about how thick it looks right now. When it dries, it'll look normal. So the next one that I have is called Stuck in the Chimney, and this is a red hollow. So here is one coat of Stuck in the Chimney. You can see this one covers really well on one coat. It's also a really nice formula too. It's really easy to work with. I will be adding, I mean, it's pretty much opaque, you can't see my nail line, but I will be adding a second coat because it's a little pink right now. It'll get a little bit redder. There is one coat of Stuck in the Chimney. That is pretty much a one coater. I'm going to put another coat on just to see if it darkens the color up a little bit because it looks a little bit pink to me. I am kind of looking through the camera though. It might still look a little bit pink in person, but I'm going to put a second coat on to see if it deepens the color. But it does completely cover the nail line, which for me is like the requirement of a one coater. But I will go ahead and let this dry and put on a second coat and see if it deepens the color. So here is 2 coats of Stuck in the Chimney. And that does deepen the color a little bit. It's not as dramatic as I thought it was going to be, but it definitely makes a difference. I think this is actually my second favorite of the collection. Which is saying something because I'm not like super into reds, unless I'm starting to get into reds. That's also a possibility. So there is 2 coats of Stuck in the Chimney. The next polish is Caramel Swirl, and this is kind of a medium brown hollow. So here is one coat of Caramel Swirl. The formula in this one is just like Stuck in the Chimney. It's really easy to work with. It's really smooth. It doesn't quite cover as well as Stuck in the Chimney did on one coat, but it's pretty close. So that is one coat of Caramel Swirl. It's almost opaque, but I can still see a little bit of, I guess, lighter spots. So I'm gonna let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of Caramel Swirl. So that covers perfectly on 2 coats, and hopefully you guys can see the hollow in this. I have a daylight bulb going. This looks really amazing in sunlight though. So there is 2 coats of Caramel Swirl. The next polish is No Peeking. This is kind of a black and jelly base with a scattered holographic and then some really tiny green hexes and green circles as well. So here is one coat of No Peeking. It's a little bit sheer on the first coat, but it has to be or else you would never see any of the glitter. And the first cut on my pointer finger was like way too thin. It's practically a dry brush there towards the end. So you can see it covers quite a bit better than my pointer finger showed. Okay, so there is one coat of No Peeking. I'm gonna redo my pointer finger and then come back for a second coat. And here is 2 coats of No Peeking. You can see that that is fully opaque on 2 coats. You do have to do a little bit of fishing to get the circle glitters out, and they do require a little bit of careful placement on the nail as well. That is 2 coats of No Peeking. If you have like a large curve in your nail beds like I do, the circle glitters are not going to sit flat no matter where they are, but I would definitely suggest some top coat to smooth those out. So the next one is Merry Mistletoe, and this is a deep kind of bluey green with a scattered holographic and some iridescent flakies in there as well. So here is one coat of Merry Mistletoe. You can see this one is a little bit sheer, but the formula is really good. It feels a little bit thinner than like Stuck in the Chimney or Caramel Swirl, which makes sense because it's a little bit more sheer. So that is one coat of Merry Mistletoe. I will let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of Merry Mistletoe. This covers completely on 2 coats. It's a tiny bit brush strokey. Sometimes those will smooth out a little bit as it dries down, so it kind of looks like it's doing that on my pointer finger. So there is 2 coats of Merry Mistletoe. So the next polish is Glitter Garland, and this is various sizes of circle glitter in red, silver, and green, and then there are also some diamonds and some stars mixed in there as well. So here is Glitter Garland over Merry Mistletoe. There is a lot of glitter in here, and you get a lot of glitter in here when you dip your brush in, so you might end up having to spread it out over a couple nails. You will also end up with some on the sides of the brush and stuff. This polish does take a little bit of work because it is so glitter dense. You have to kind of push things around where you want them. It's like that is a ridiculous amount of circle glitter. So I'm going to move some of this onto the next nail and deal with it when I get there. Okay, so I got cut off, my memory card filled up, which doesn't happen to me very often, but basically I just did a lot of placement for this and moved a lot of the glitter around, kind of manipulated it a little bit. There's a lot of glitter in this, and you get a lot of glitter when you dip your brush in, so you do have to move it around a little bit. And I did add top coat to this also, so you can see it a little bit more smoothed out, but that is 1 coat of Glitter Garland. So the next polish is the North Star, and this is a deep purpley blue polish with purple and blue glitter, like very fine glitter mixed in. So here is 1 coat of the North Star. The formula on this one is really good. It's a little bit thicker than the other ones, but it's not bad thick. It's just thicker. And you can see that it covers really well on 1 coat also. So there is 1 coat of the North Star. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of the North Star. So you can see this covers completely on 2 coats, and it deepens the color up quite a bit as well. So there is 2 coats of the North Star. The shimmer in this is just amazing. I feel like my camera's not picking it up very well, but this is an amazing blue. So the next polish is Blanca Navidad, and this is beautiful. This has a mix of different sizes of iridescent glitter in a clear base, and then there are 2 different sizes and kind of shapes of snowflakes as well. I've been storing this upside down for the swatch because I might have to dig those big snowflakes out with a toothpick because they are very heavy, but we'll see what happens. So this is Blanca Navidad. So here is 1 coat of Blanca Navidad. I had to do some fishing to get that snowflake out, but that is one of the bigger ones. Then I'm just going to do some placement to get the iridescent glitters on there as well. There's one of the smaller flakes. I didn't have to fish too much for that one. I kind of want to move it though. Okay, there's a larger flake. So this polish is a little finicky. It's difficult to get these snowflakes out, and you really have to dig for them. But what you can do for a polish like this, if you do really want the snowflakes out, is to just get a toothpick. Go ahead and put a coat of whatever you can get on the nail, just 1 dip, and get the small glitters in there, and then go through with a toothpick, get the glitters that you want, and place them on the nail. So, I mean, this one, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but I hate saying that because it's just so beautiful. So this is 1 coat of Blanca Navidad over, what is that one? The North Star. And I don't care how big of a pain it is to get those snowflakes out. This is absolutely gorgeous. Another thing you can do is set this upside down for a little while to have all the snowflake glitter glitters fall to the side that you want them, that's also going to help a lot. But I think your best bet is going to be to do a coat of it and then go in with a toothpick and grab the glitters out, which should not be very difficult at all. So that is one coat of Blanca Navidad. That is the entire Colors to Carol holiday collection for this year. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.